Karen Bonafilio, Inner Realms, Outer Journeys. I know I always tell you we have a real treat, but we really do. I somehow, when I saw this lady, I just had this instant connection with her and started following her. And when she said she'd be on the channel, I was so excited about that. So I want to introduce you to Nancy, and I'm going to try to say her name correctly, Nancy Muratalla. Are you
Yes,
okay?
absolutely. You got it. Hello, hello, Karen. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a treat and an honor. Thank you.
Oh, I'm excited that you're here. I seriously am. And I also want to tell the viewers I was going to wear black and white today. So we would have matched, but I changed my mind at the last
We
instant.
we were in sync.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I thought, well, she's really colorful, so I'm going to wear something colorful today. So, anyway, let me tell you about her. She is a dedicated international spiritual medium, energy healer, intuitive card reader, and host of a Fashionably Spiritual. And you have to tell about that today, okay?
Yes.
She has, with a deep reverence for her work, she collaborates with the spirit world to provide comfort, love, and healing to those who have experienced. God, I can't read. And healing to those who have experienced the loss of loved ones, reaffirming that love transcends physical existence. Boy, do I know that.
Yeah.
Inspired by her own personal experiences and spiritual awakening through loss, Nancy is passionate about using her abilities to not only support others in their healing journey, but also to teach them how to connect with the inner spiritual selves. So, in reading that, that means that she probably offers a way to teach us how to connect with the spiritual world. So, Nancy, first of all, just kind of tell us about your journey and about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. You know, there's been many phases of my spiritual journey. I didn't always think that this was my path, that this is the direction that I was going in. As a young child, living in New York, there was four of us girls. I was the youngest. I always had some premonition that there was always something around me. I would feel something at night when I would go to bed. I would feel something sitting on my bed next to me. I didn't visually see anything at that time, but I could feel the energy of it. And for whatever reason, even being a young girl, it did not scare me. It actually kind of gave me a sense of comfort.
That's what I was wondering if it was frightening for you to feel that.
Believe it or not, it actually was not frightening to me at all. I don't know what I thought it was. I can't get back in my young brain to figure out why I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
But then as I became a teenager, it kind of got a little dormant and I wasn't experiencing things in that manner at all anymore. And it wasn't until probably my early 20s that I was very wide open. I had medium friends. I was very open to the spirit world, knowing that there was something more than what was actually happening.
Yes.
And I had the knowing, but the funny thing, Karen, is that I don't know that it was tangible for me though. I loved the idea of it and I believed in the idea of it, but it really wasn't until I personally started experiencing loss. You know, I
Oh,
started experiencing loss of my loved ones, people that were very close to me, is when something just cracked open for me. And there was even a time that I worked for a medium. I booked
oh,
all of
you
her
did.
appointments. Yeah, I booked all of her appointments. I had people calling in talking to me, and I really felt like a deep empathy and reverence in talking to them and understanding what they were going through.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe even so much so that I think I discovered I was very empathic because I would feel that and I didn't know what to do with it. I would feel their loss. I would feel their sorrow.
Wow.
I would feel
That's
their
tough.
story. Yeah, it was
That is
like I
tough.
didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know enough then to know, okay, like this is not yours. This is someone else's. Like you
Hmm.
need to ground yourself. Like
Hmm.
be a listening ear, but don't take it on. Don't hold on to it. So,
So at that point in time, were you having mediumship readings for yourself? And
oh yeah.
okay,
Yes, yes. I definitely, had readings. I want to say my first experience of a reading when I was in my early 20s. Um, Gosh, she became a really, really dear friend, and I still am in touch with her to this day. And I didn't even know that I was going to have any type of like fertility problems. And she
oh,
said to me that I was going to be adopting my son. And I'm like, okay, all right. Like, never entertaining that, adoption was, an option at that time. So I kind of just I held on to it.
hmm,
Sure enough, my husband and I experienced a lot of fertility issues. We did many, many things to try to conceive on our own. And then the road led me to adoption.
adopting.
Yeah. And it wasn't until after, well after that the light bulb went on, like, oh yeah, she told
I
me that,
heard
didn't
that.
she?
I think it's so cool when somebody tells you something that has never entered at all, and you're going, "Well, that okay, that doesn't seem right," and
Yeah.
then it happens years later, and you're going, "Oh my gosh, that's." I remember when saw a palm reader, and I was probably 17, and she told me I was going to marry a blonde-haired man, and I thought, well, my husband's Cuban and he has black hair.
Close
Which
enough.
okay. But that marriage didn't last, and my second husband did have the blonde hair. He was
Oh wow.
Finnish. He was
Wow.
Finn. Yeah.
Right. So it was coming.
Just not was
It
not
was
right
going through
then.
the cycle process.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
That's
gosh.
great. That's great. Until I really experience like, people in your life can pass, it could be distant relatives, but when people start passing that are your
Yes.
grandparents that you're close to, your spouse, your mother, your father,
Yeah.
um, that's what really made me want to dig deep. Like, I wanted to know where they are, that they're
Mm-hmm.
still with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it really wasn't until my mom passed, uh, just the things that appeared, the things that happened, the things that I experienced. And I actually never thought in a million years that I would be sitting on anybody's show
Yeah.
talking about this
Mm-hmm.
because ironically, I would say to myself, oh my gosh, what just happened? Like, I want to just stand on the top of the mountain and scream it out and tell everybody, like, this
Yeah.
phenomenon happened.
Yeah.
But then I remembered, okay, well, at that time, that was just for me. And
Yes.
people would probably think I'm crazy, but I knew it was for me. But
Mm-hmm.
it's now a time where I can share it because it's incredible. And there is definitely evidence that love continues after our loved ones
Yes.
pass. They're
Mm-hmm.
just in a different, they're still here with us. They're just in a different dimension. They're just in a different realm. And, I had one, Karen, the only wall in my house that was textured. Okay.
Okay.
So the only textured wall that I had in my house, it
Mm-hmm.
faced my bedroom where I slept, and the energy shifted on it, literally shifted. I got chills as I just said that because I know my mom's here with me. Um,
Hi, Mom. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. Yeah.
shifted.
Whew.
That
Ah,
wall turned into my mother, picture of my mother when she passed, looking very peaceful. It was
oh,
almost in
God.
4D where I can see her hair, I could see her face, and on each side of her, I could see two angels,
God, I just want to cry.
and I can see their wings. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
And it was beautiful because prior to that appearing, I said, my mom was not meant to die yet. She wasn't meant to die yet. Why did this happen? And one of my medium friends called me a couple of days later after my mom passed and said, you need to stop walking around saying that. And I'm like, how do you know I'm saying that? How did you know that? Your mom told me you need to stop saying that because it was her time. It was her time. So she was trying to comfort me. And she also visually came through because I also said, I didn't get to hug you. I didn't get to say goodbye. And I had this visitation dream where her arms just surrounded me and held me.
Mhm.
And I knew it was her, but I remember in this dream, I kind of went like this a little bit just to
Oh.
see her.
Mhm.
And then I woke up with just this big smile on my face. Like it was so real.
She comforted you. Now, when she hugged you, did you in your dream physically feel her?
Oh, yeah.
I know. Isn't
Yes.
that crazy
It
good?
was, it's what I needed. And they know that.
Hmm.
Yeah. She knew
That
that's what I needed.
yeah, to have that feel with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last time to feel that hug.
Hmm.
Most definitely. I felt it. And the funny part is, why didn't I stay in the dream? Why was I in such a hurry to get out of it? Because it's almost like my conscious mind was like, holy cow, what just happened?
Isn't that bizarre that that enters? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you had to leave and then you couldn't go back there
I
anymore.
couldn't go back to it. I'm like, why were you in a hurry to get out? Stay a while next time.
I'm sure she'll come back if you ask her to.
She has been coming back. Absolutely. She has
Yeah.
been coming back. And the funny thing is that every time, well, I shouldn't say every time, but I've had many people who have passed, whether they're my relatives or somebody that we were close to that maybe not a family member, enter my dream, look at me, and telepathically say, holy cow, you can do this. That's cool. I'm still
Spirit has a sense
here.
of humor.
Can you relay this and this?
Uh-huh. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah. So I knew what I was supposed to do after that. It didn't come immediately. I still had a period. I was mourning. I was lost. I was sad. I was heartbroken. My mom was she was my best friend, and I didn't know what to do or how to move forward. Even though I had the comfort of messages from her, it doesn't make it any easier. I mean,
Because
as
of the grief.
mediums, we still feel that.
Right. You still have the grief. You
We
don't
still have to
escape.
grieve. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So, like I
I'm
said,
so happy to hear.
my connection with spirit was very much in phases. Um, and I also feel that they've told me that you needed to do X, Y, and Z first to get to here because you were nowhere near ready at that moment in time. And like I said, even when I worked for a medium, if anyone would have ever asked me, well, do you want to do that? No, not at all. I'm an administrator. I
Yeah.
book appointments and I schedule things like that. That's who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not anything else other than that.
Are you a Virgo?
I'm a Leo.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
That's like opposite of a Virgo almost.
Virgos are pretty spicy though too.
But
Yeah, very organized, very
oh,
OCD, very structured.
yep, you got it.
I think with Leos, we are have some of those traits, but we're a little bit more fiery about it and in your face about it.
Yep. Leos are good though. Yeah, I was married to a Leo, so yeah, I know what that's like.
We
Yeah.
definitely, we definitely, we definitely keep the party going.
Yeah, you do. And I'm going, okay, it's time. It's time. Enough, enough. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted your train of thought.
No, no worries.
Well, that was a memorable experience to see your
Oh,
mom there. Have
yeah.
you had any other types of experiences that you'd like to share in
Yeah,
connection?
absolutely. My brother-in-law passed away 2 years ago, and I had a very profound visit with him, both in the dream state and not in the dream state. Um, he literally walked through my front door in my dream state, and he said, I am still here. You need to talk to your sister. Like, he gave me very specific instructions. Like, he knew his family was hurting.
Yeah.
And he kind of also told me he still kind of has one foot here and one foot on the other side because he feels that he's still needed here to help her get through this transition. And, after that dream visit, I just kept, medium, I kept getting connections with him. And, when they are your relatives or your loved ones, um, I don't want to say I don't like doing mediumship readings for people that I know, um, but sometimes I don't because I'm emotionally involved in it. So I was very diplomatic, if you will, when I delivered messages to her. I really made sure that I wasn't letting my mind get in it at all. Um, and it really was a great source of comfort for her.
Oh, I bet.
Um, but he also recommended that she do some grief counseling, which I shared with her. And let me tell you this story. So she starts going, it's at a church, and my sister she wasn't very spiritual, prior to this. And it was at a church literally that her and her husband would have to pass every single day to get to their street. It was like right there
Oh,
all the
okay.
time. They'd never gone to it. It was right there.
Mm-hmm.
And she entered the class, I think the first class, she was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And we're like, just keep going, just keep going. She ended up meeting, obviously, like minded people that are also, experiencing the same loss as she is.
Right.
And, she would say, all of my friends, which you do hear this, like after the funeral, all of a sudden everybody disappears and you're alone
Mm-hmm.
in your grief and your loss. You're alone.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't always know what to say to you. So I feel like sometimes it's
Exactly.
easier to not, I don't know, like just pick up the phone and just say, hello, I'm here. But I think people, depending on how they handle grief, it could be difficult for them.
Mm-hmm.
So she kept saying, like, where are all my friends? Where is everybody now? And I will tell you, everyone in this class, she even took it like 2 or 3 times. They're all her friends. They all
Oh,
meet up.
really?
They meet up. She has a whole new village. She meets up
Great.
with them all the time. Those are her
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
And the bonus, which I know my brother-in-law had a hand in,
Mm-hmm.
and I also know one of the grief counselors, teachers, which, by the way, is a no-no. You're not supposed to date the teachers. They became really good friends, and that turned into a relationship. And he lost his wife. She
Oh.
lost her husband.
Oh.
And it's a beautiful relationship they have because they can both still honor their husband and wife and talk about
Did
it openly.
I have this feeling that her husband orchestrated all
Oh,
that.
100%. And
Yeah.
and and his wife. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my
Yes. He's like, get her to grief counseling. Hurry up.
gosh.
For multiple reasons, of course. Right?
Yeah. And she became spiritual in the opened up
Oh,
that
yeah.
door in the process, which is really
Yes.
nice.
He recently got baptized. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Who would
Lots
have
of
known? Yeah.
He was a counselor. He wasn't the minister there at the church,
He
was
was not the minister. He was part of the grief. I mean, they're part of the church, but it's a grief counseling, like separate little entity that they offer at the
he?
church.
Mhm.
So he was a grief counselor teacher. Yeah.
I'm happy for your sister.
Oh gosh.
I really am. I really
Yeah.
am because I know what that grief is like, but she does have that connection with him still.
Oh
So
yes.
that's good.
And they can freely talk about it with one another because they both understand what the other is going through, and they're there to help one another. And
Hmm.
there's pieces of the person that she's dating, um, that is also inspiring her of maybe the things that she never saw before and vice versa. So they're really so good for one another. I think her kids, so she has 4 kids, they had a little bit, she's got 2 twin daughters and then 2 boys. I think the 2 girls had a little bit of a hard time with it because they were very protective of their mom.
Right.
Um, but I think that has since kind of, calmed down a little bit where they see that she at least has some of that peace and joy happening again, not forgetting her husband by any stretch of the imagination, but having a little bit of peace and being able to love again.
Are her children teenagers or
They are
young?
not. They are they're grown.
Oh, they're
They're
grown.
grown.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, the girls are spicy and opinionated though. They're twins.
I like the word spicy though. I think it's a good descriptor. They're twins
Yeah,
and
they're
opinion.
very protective of their mom, which is
Hmm.
great. And the boys are like, "Oh, great mom, whatever. Good for you, mom.
Do what you want to do.
If it makes you happy, just let us know if you need us."
I love that story. You've had some really incredible experiences, Nancy.
I really have. I want to say that I have had such a great connection with family members. Because I think too, we tend to beat ourselves up when people pass, like, what could we have done differently?
Right.
You know, I really had a hard time with actually all of them, but I will say my mother's husband, was a tough one for me because my mom passed first, and her husband, who was my stepdad, he didn't know what to do without her.
Yeah.
And he lived in Laughlin. So Laughlin, Nevada is, or is it Arizona? It's like it's a smaller version of like Las Vegas. Okay,
Oh, is
so
it?
there's, yeah, it's Laughlin. So it's like a smaller version where there's casinos everywhere.
Is that
So
the town where all the motorcyclists go?
yes, yes, they do like a motorcycle thing there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So they had moved there to retire and,
Oh.
have a retirement life there.
Hmm.
But he ended up gambling a lot, like a lot. So my
Don't
sisters
keep
and
him
I,
clean.
yeah, yeah, and he didn't know what else to do with himself. And
Yeah.
we would move him into somewhere and he would lose it. We'd do something else, he would lose it.
Oh gosh.
Um, it was a tough situation,
Oh, I
and
bet. Yeah.
some of my family members decided to take a little bit more of the tough love on it. Like, you need to stop gambling your money away. I didn't quite get on board with that right away because, like, I would get the call that he has no food, he has no money. Um, I my husband and I couldn't sleep at night knowing that. So rather than send money, I got to know the Pizza Hut people, I got to know the Denny's people, and they would, deliver food to him. Towards the end, I decided to do a little bit of the tough love. And I'll
Hmm.
tell you something, Karen. Um, I got a call on his phone, and I hadn't taken his call for maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I got a call, and I was going to take it. I was on my way taking, I think, my son to vision therapy or some type of eye doctor. And I said, I think I better take this. I better take this call.
You knew you had to.
And just as I was about to take it, I missed it.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, I got this nudge that it wasn't okay. And then I couldn't listen to the voice message. So I called my husband. I said, I need you to come home. I need you to listen to this message. I don't think I can handle what this is going to be.
Uh-oh.
And sure enough, it was. So I already knew that it wasn't him. Just something told me in my ear that it's not him, even though it's his phone, it's not him leaving you the message. So,
Oh,
yeah. So it ended up being a detective that left a message.
no.
And yeah, that he had passed. And I just I fell to my knees. And I haven't told the story I haven't really ever told the story. I don't know why I'm being nudged to tell it, but I just really want people to know how we understand how real these feelings are. And I literally fell to my knees like, what have I done? Like, what did I do? And I don't think I've ever broken down in that type of manner, like in my entire life. And we ended up going to try to collect his things to find out that he was actually homeless.
Oh,
And
no.
so where we thought we were going to collect his belongings and,
Oh,
shore everything up
Nancy.
is not where he lived anymore.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So that was
That's so
hard. And he
sad.
also died in front of a food bank
In
getting
front of
food.
a what?
In front of like a food bank service, like
Oh,
what is it called? I think it's called a food bank.
okay.
Um,
Where you go and you get,
yes.
yes.
Yeah. They help you with groceries.
Yeah.
Um, so apparently he went in and then he couldn't carry everything out and he brought his first bag out and then he was going to go back. But apparently he had a heart attack right when he got in his car and just kind of keeled over.
Oh gosh.
So that was really, really hard. And I didn't connect with him right away, but another medium friend of mine connected and said, he's saying to you, I wouldn't have taken my call either.
Said what?
Said to me, your stepdad is saying, I wouldn't have taken my calls either
Oh, really?
because
Oh.
it was a tough situation. And,
Mm.
he was not helping himself. But I also understand that he was in very much in grief.
Yes.
And so I had to make peace with that because it's not my fault. And I had to learn to accept that it wasn't my fault, that this was how it was going to unfold. Um, he knows how much we loved him and how much we worried about him, and um, I've had him come through in other ways. So I'm okay with it now. But when it first happened, it was not okay.
Well, I think the circumstances too, and you didn't really know his living circumstances, and you were still trying to help out, and you didn't know that it
Yeah.
was that dire. How
Yes.
long after did he die from your mom?
It's interesting that you asked me that, Karen, too, because when I do mediumship, you know, I don't know that we're told anyway, but when I started my mediumship journey, I said I don't want any information about, if it's something that's in God's will, I don't want to know if there's nothing that I can help encourage or change in the
Mhm.
sense of like, hey, go to the doctor or, in
Right.
that case, I don't
Hmm.
want to know any of that. But I did have a friend tell me that he is going to pass approximately 2 years after your mom's passing. And sure enough, he sure did. And you also have to be careful of that too, because I feel like I don't want that information because you put it out there to the universe too.
Yeah.
And
That's
she kind of just offered it up to me. But yeah, he was not doing well he wasn't doing well. Like this man, he served the one of the I think it was the Korean War. He was a man of very few words. He wasn't very soft spoken. He didn't cry. He didn't show emotion. And when my mother passed, I saw him break down, and we had never seen that
never seen
before.
that part of him.
Never.
Yes.
never. So I knew he was broken. I knew it was going to be hard for him.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Well, they're reunited now, which is good.
Yes. Oh yeah. I see them up there all the time, dancing away and having a good time.
I don't know about you. I miss the physicality.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I
Oh
miss the substance of that person. That they're
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really hard. You
Having the
know,
conversations that you can actually have full blown conversations like you and I are having, and
I
having them
know.
go shopping with you, and in my mom's case, give me her opinion about everything because we're from New York, so we're very direct.
Somebody told me I had a Bronx vibe, and I thought,
Oh my gosh, totally. Absolutely.
how?
I think Karen, I don't really feel it in your personality. I
Okay.
think it's your look. I think like me, I think it's your look. I think we have like a back east
Wow.
vibe. Like I don't know what it is.
Okay, because I was with
I
a
think it's a good
banker.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and they go, "What do you think of Bronx?" I said, "Outspoken and obnoxious." And they go, "Yeah." And I thought,
And can be very rude.
"Yeah." I thought I just met you, and you're saying this about me. I'm not buying your candles. No, I'm just teasing.
You know, I take it as a compliment. Whatever. If they're saying that we're fiery and badass, so be it.
High five
High
on the
five,
back.
we'll take it.
Definitely. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Did you want to say anything more about your stepfather before I ask you something
Yeah,
else?
no, thank you. Thank you for letting me share that. Thank
No,
you.
I'm glad. I love these connections, and I especially love the one from your mom. I
Yeah.
mean, really, that was beautiful.
Yes,
Extremely
thank you.
beautiful.
It wasn't until she kept moving all my pictures in my house that I had to finally say, okay, chill out, stop doing that. You're kind of freaking me out.
Oh my gosh.
Stop moving the pictures.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about, I want to ask about your energy healing and about your show that you host too.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
So I feel like I've heard this story many times. So with energy healing, I started out very slowly when I decided to, like, I wanted to do something. I wanted to help people. I wanted to be of service. And I went and got my Reiki certifications, and
Mhm.
I was so excited immediately upon, starting to do Reiki, which they say this happens that you start getting mediumship connections.
Oh, really?
And oh yeah, yes, like it just
Oh.
kind of all kind of flows together and you pick up on things, and you can have loved ones coming in during that, which again, when you're doing a Reiki session, you don't stop. I mean, the person's in a very comfortable state and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing with the healing of the energy.
Hmm.
And you don't say, "Oh, wait a minute, wake up. So and so's here. I want to tell you about it." You kind of just
No.
yeah, you kind of just have to keep it to yourself and kind of wait to the end and then see if they're open to it, right?
Exactly. If they're open to it, yeah.
Yeah,
They're,
exactly.
they're
So
not going to come back.
for me, I was too excited. I didn't want to wait to the end. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to mediumship.
And they're trying to relax, and you're all excited.
I'm too high energy to just keep my mouth shut the whole time and just try to concentrate on the healing part of it, which I definitely can, but I really, really enjoy offering healings in the way. So when you do platform readings and, spiritualist church readings, and even like with Jennifer Rose with our Sunday service that we do bi-weekly, we do offer a healing element of it where we kind of all kind of sit in a beautiful loving power, and we put healing out there, not only to the participants, to each other, but really out to the world as well.
Right.
So we really kind of zone in and kind of get in that place where we're offering that healing,
Yes.
which is quite beautiful. So
I
absolutely, I can do healing work, but I love mediumship for sure.
Well, the thing about it is you could always tell that person that you're healing that, hey, if I get a message, I want to share it with you.
I
And
know.
then, and you sit
I
there
know.
trying to
I know.
relax. Yeah.
I know. I know. I mean, you're really supposed to like to the end.
Yeah.
You got the calm music going, and
Yeah.
then
And you're
oh
all
my gosh, I
excited.
gotta
Yeah, but I
tell you
I could totally understand. You want to share.
this. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what happened. Yeah, I understand
pretty
that.
fascinating. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's pretty incredible. Like to be able to, the things that we get when we're, doing mediumship work and we're able to connect and kind of just be that vessel.
Yes.
Because nothing. I mean, some people don't like to hear you say it like this, like it has nothing to do with us. I mean, it has a little bit to do with us because we also have to be conscious of how we're delivering the message. There is an etiquette to delivering a message in a kind, respectful way. So we do need to have a little bit of discernment there as we're
Right.
delivering
Yes.
messages.
You
So,
do.
but it's them telling us and then us communicating it honestly as best as we can, Karen, because
Mhm.
when I'm doing a mediumship reading and let's say the person is like, yeah, I'm not sure, I don't know, I'm like, okay, well, give me a moment. They're telling me what they're telling, so it's me that I must be misinterpreting it. So let me see if I can unravel it. Let me see if I can figure out, it's me, it's something that I'm not capturing correctly.
Yes.
But again, we do the absolute best we can because it's not a conversation like you and I.
No,
It's
no, 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 no.
pictures, it's feelings, it's
Mhm.
glimpses of things, it's maybe just a word. Um, so it's interesting. Yeah.
I have to have a reading from you sometime.
Yes, absolutely. I would love that. So,
Tell me
Fashionably
about
Spiritual,
what's
yes,
that?
our Fashionably Spiritual show.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for asking about that as well. We really, okay, I'm just going to be really honest with the show name. So, we want Jennifer Rose and I, she's my co host. We wanted something that kind of had a feel for who we were. Okay. So it's not a fashion show. It's not about fashion. But
Yeah.
we also love fashion. Who doesn't,
Mhm.
right? So we also love fashion and spiritualism, medium. We can look in all different kinds of containers, right? The
Yes.
whole thing, like don't judge a book by its cover, all that, blah 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 blah.
Right.
So we really wanted a modern day approach to have very soul led conversations about spiritual, anything spiritually related that we
Oh,
can
very
talk about.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And, even down to like, what do you do to help balance yourself in this day where everything's so crazy and chaotic? Like, what do you do to help balance yourself and
Mhm.
feel centered and relax? So we really just want to have these real conversations with people, and let them also know they're not alone, with feeling certain ways about things or
Yeah.
suggestions about what people can do.
Um, is that every week or is that how often does that run?
So right now we're doing it once a month.
Once a month.
We may increase it. We'll see how that goes. Jennifer Rose has two other shows, so she is a very busy lady.
Yes, she is.
So right now, Fashionably Spiritual is monthly. So our next show is Monday, June 9th.
Oh, good. This video is will be out in time so people can tune into that.
Perfect. So
Is that
every
a live
Mondays.
event too?
It is a live event.
Okay.
Yes. So not only are we, we have topics that we talk about, but we also have audience participation. So people are asking questions. So it's
Oh my
not
gosh.
it's not scripted. Like we may have a topic on the top of our mind that like, hey, let's talk about this. But
Hmm.
it usually unfolds into many other things. And then within that hour, Jennifer and I also try to do readings as well.
Yeah, because that's spirit's going to lead you of what
Yes,
your audience needs to know.
that's
Yeah.
right.
So you might have that topic, but spirit's going to lead you there.
Absolutely.
Um, Before I have one question that I want to ask you, but
Okay.
before I do that, did I cover everything that you would like the audience to know about you?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it wasn't too boring for everyone.
Oh my gosh, no, it's really fabulous. I
Thank
think this is
you.
going to be very
Thank
well
you.
received. And I told her I need to get those glasses too. I will.
Yes, I will be sending you the link.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So another psychic medium gave me this question to ask, and I really like it. And it's nothing tricky, so I don't want you to think
Okay.
I'm trying to trick you. I wouldn't do that. Um, what is it that you feel out of all your gifts do you think is the most important to you? How you can be of service for spirit and help your client?
Ooh, I love that question.
Isn't
That's
that a good one,
amazing.
Nancy?
That is a really, really good one.
Ah,
You
she has to
know,
know that to me.
at the end of the day, it's really about helping people along their journey. You know, I feel like spirit's even like showing me a visual, like almost where you're like holding your hand out to somebody, um, offering them love and assistance. And for me, that's all I think I ever wanted to get out of doing mediumship is the love and the healing that I have felt from connecting
Yes.
um, has brought me a tremendous amount of just really love in my heart and a better understanding on how to view life.
Hmm.
That it is brief. We are here to learn all of the lessons. There's a lot more to life than what this appears.
Oh gosh,
Um,
yes.
it's almost like um, we're looking with a little magnifying glass just at our little section, but it's similar to when you go up in an airplane and you're getting higher and higher, and you can kind of see the area, and then you can see your town, and then you can see a broad view of everything, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize my town had all these baseball fields. um,
Hmm.
I feel like with connecting with people, it gives people that broader view, which I think in turn gives you comfort.
That is a great analogy. That was
Thank
really
you.
good, Nancy.
Spirit just told that to me. I don't even know where I got that from.
Well,
Yeah.
that was fabulous. That was really fabulous.
Thank you.
That is. Oh my gosh.
Thank you,
Very good.
Spirit.
It has been a pleasure having you on. It
You
seriously has.
too. I love you, Karen.
Oh, I love
You're
you too.
amazing. Keep
Oh,
up. Keep up the good work because I feel like the more we get the word out and people can connect and understand that they're not alone, that's what it's about.
yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to sign off, but don't go anyplace, okay? Because I
Okay.
want to talk a little bit
Thank you
more.
again, Karen.
But I thank you for coming on the channel
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.